Father's Day is the worst holiday ever.
It's the least celebrated.
No one cares.
I agree.
And you shouldn't necessarily care.
I don't care
Yeah.
because I've been taught not to care. It's nurture, not nature.
Definitely, Father's Day, I have low expectations.
Let me just tell people, ask the daddy what he wants for Father's Day, okay? Don't just buy some drawers and socks. If he wants to lay in the bed all day, let him lay in the bed. If he wants to go fishing, let him go fishing. Don't just find something for us to do. Let us do what we want to do. It's one day out the year.
Hold up, limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought here to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up. On the mission, get me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Trust, limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought here to witness it. Get my people feeling militant.
Man, fellas, it's a pivot, three-man weave Father's Day special.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Glad to be with you guys. Also, too, man, I've had a crazy week. I went to FIFA World Cup, right? Got to go see our guy, Aurelian. Mbappe went crazy.
Yeah.
And then Messi went crazier, in another place in the Midwest. Also, got to go to the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago, which is really dope. And so I thought that was just a really cool week. But, man, I've been around family a lot lately, and I realized sometimes it's hard to tell family certain things. What is something that you feel, Chan, is hard for you to tell a family member?
Financial advice. Because they look at you as the rich dude because you play ball, but like you struggle. Why are you buying gifts all the time? Why did you just get a new car? Like it just and it's your money. Do what you want with your money, but I know you're not managing your money right, and that's probably the biggest thing I struggle with is giving financial advice to people with their money.
Right.
And I know it's not a good decision, but I really struggle with giving financial advice to other people.
Right. I think for me, early on it was no, as simple as that, because you come up in this 2-bedroom, 5, 6 siblings, and now you're together. But at some point, you go off and you have your own family, and then you want to make sure you have enough to secure your family and take care of them and put money in the right place to send your kids off to college and all this other different stuff. And then, your people reach out because they need help. And then when you have to tell them, like, I ain't got it. It's been year after year after year. Like, when are we gonna figure this out? I just can't do it right now. And it breaks my heart that I have to be that person. But I feel like if I don't put that part of me down or put my foot down, it's just gonna continuously be the same thing. And it really, really hurts me, bro. Especially when I go out there, let's say, for example, and you'll love this, and buy a fucking Pokemon card. But that's for me, and I feel like that's what I worked hard for, and I love them to death. But sometimes it's like, when are you going to learn? You know what I'm saying? So it can be a life lesson that I'm trying to teach them, because I do have it sometimes, but I also have to think about my kids and putting things in place for their future and, for what they're gonna need when I'm no longer here.
What about when they need money, but you just knew they went to the Bahamas for the weekend? That wasn't a good financial decision.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you don't go on vacation, but now I can't give you money because I knew you just went on vacation.
Right.
Yeah, I think y'all have very good points. A thing I have a much harder time telling my loved ones and family members about is that the L in salmon is silent. Like I ain't really grow up with money like that. So like we grew up eating catfish. You know what I'm saying? And like when you can move up to tilapia, like that was a big thing. Like, bro, we ain't never seen mahi or sea bass or salmon spelled until we got to like menus in restaurants.
What they call it, RC?
Salmon. I hate that, dog. And and it's like, and what I hate the most is like when they say salmon with the L at the restaurant, I don't like how the server look at them. Cause then when they say salmon, the server look at them like we ain't supposed to be there. You see what I'm saying? And now I feel like you telling me the price on the food after I already ordered and I can see the price there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and then too, it don't be like the right time. Because if I tell you after you just said it, now I'm checking you, right? Yeah. But if I tell you a week later, now you know I didn't let you say this for 6 years and I never corrected you. So once it's out one time, we effed up. Now our relationship is at odds because every time you say it, my stomach bubble, but I also know I can't correct you. And it really ain't your fault because we couldn't afford salmon when we was growing up. And you just reading it. Like phonetically, you just sounding it out. And I know real G's move in silence like lasagna, but also real L's move in silence like salmon. And so if you're watching this, and I ain't never told y'all, the L in salmon is silent, and I've been having a tough time keeping that from y'all.
What about a surf and turf with the filet? The filet mignon and the salmon.
If they do that, then we got to stop going out to eat. We got to stop.
Eating at the crib.
You know, speaking of like family and all those things, the Knicks won the chip.
Yeah.
We posted a video at the beginning of this. Fred said Spurs in 5. He was wrong. You only talked about Wemby.
Yes.
Right? And me, I gave a fair assessment of what it would mean for both superstars. So how you feeling about it now, Freddie T?
You know, I've heard a lot on my group chats. You know, I went to Spurs in 5, they laughed at me. Then I said Spurs in 6, they laughed at me. Then I say Spurs are gonna make a run, obviously, they laughed at me. I mean, just looking at the series, you know, I'm a sports person, right? The Knicks, they deserve it. The way they played, the way they fought back, being down double digits, the X amount of games they deserve it. And the Spurs definitely deserve what they got. You know, to be up in those fashions, all those games, when you looked at it, it could have easily been 2-1. It could have easily been 3-1. A shot here, you know, endurance here, finishing here, there, whatever. But that's not the way it ended. That Jalen Brunson, OG, Hart, you know,
Cat.
Bridges, Cat, you know, the bench, coach, like, they deserve to do what they did, man, and to be crowned world champions. And I'm just on the sideline. You know, I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what they were built of. I looked at a team, I looked at matchups, and I thought the Spurs were a better matchup. I thought Wemby would be more dominant. And unfortunately, I thought wrong. So I take it, but the Knicks, they dug deep, they deserve it. And man, crown them.
Guys stepped up. Big body Brunson. I didn't think I was going to take on the nickname, but Brunson came through. 45 in the closer. Big body Brunson came through. Obi-Wan Kenobi, whatever his name is, he was balling. He was giving everybody pure hell. But man, Mike Brown coached circles around Mitch Johnson.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about it. They made no adjustments. They did nothing. Mitch Johnson was doing the same thing. They playing Wemby they had 5 guards as they were playing. It was just a dumb approach to the game. So I'm not saying the Knicks won it, to your point. I'm not just saying the Spurs lost it. The Knicks won it. They went out there and did their thing. But I think the Spurs are going to learn a lot. De'Aaron Fox didn't do his best basketball, if I can say it that way, because even there, why did he have the ball in his hand after we saw game 2, game 3, game 4? He shouldn't be facilitating. Dylan Harper should have been in that game.
Yeah, Dylan Harper's a baller.
Everybody knows that. You have 3 young guards in Vassell and Castle and Dylan Harper. Like, I just don't like the approach. So the Knicks would have won it. They're the better team, as we all saw. In 5, you the better team. But I think it wasn't managed well out of Mitch Johnson. But, man, if they can keep that team together, because them boys are going to want some money when they win it, but they can keep that team together, the Knicks going to be special for a little bit.
Yeah, bottom line, the Knicks went on a historically great run. The Knicks showed us what teams are really about. The Knicks star took $100 million less so they could continue to build a team in Jalen Brunson. And then he went out and proved to us that not only is he one of the best players in the world, this is a guy that's going to be talked about as MVP headed into next year. And what Brunson did also shows us that we have to stop discounting things we can't explain, right? This dude was a McDonald's All-American, right? A high school champion. He was a 2-time college champion, a player of the year. So he always been short. He always been a little slower or couldn't jump the highest. And he's killed everybody on every level. But because we can't put our finger on it, we don't want to give him his just due. And he just went out and took it. And when you look at what OG did, when you look at the games Cat won for them, the times Mikal Bridges had to step up in Atlanta, Josh Hart having nights, what they were able to do off the bench, and really Mike Brown being the John Gruden to Coach Tibbs's Tony Dungy and getting them over the hump, it was amazing. And the other piece is this, Wemby and the Spurs walked off and didn't shake hands, and I ain't got no problem with it. You know why? The All-Star game got better because of Wemby's intensity, and he don't want no friends, right? To watch him play against Chet in Oklahoma, it was better because he went out there trying to kill. But there was something that was exposed: stamina, strength, muscle, foundation, finishing. He gonna have to answer all those questions. Everything you said about him coming into this is true. But now it's not what you can be, it's what you're gonna be right now. And so I thought it was really cool to see Knicks fans come together and celebrate the way they did. They did some a-hole things too. But for the most part, to watch an entire city galvanize around a team was a really, really cool deal.
I gotta disagree. I'm not with the jersey swaps, RC, but I'm not with the not respecting that competitive edge and not shaking hands after the game. I just go shake the man's hand. Y'all just went through 5 games of hell.
Channing, I'm gonna take RC's side. I mean, he's won a Super Bowl and he's lost one. Like, we will never know what it feels like emotionally to, you throw that fucking sportsmanship shit out the door sometime, at least at the moment. I ain't got a problem with that. What are you gonna do? Walk up?
Go
These
shake
guys
that
are
man,
going this
Fred,
way.
go shake that man's hand. Y'all just went through 5 games. Go shake that man's
Listen,
hand.
bro, I do not have a problem with Wemby walking out or with the team walking out because this is an emotional moment, right? I believe in sportsmanship, but bro, some things are just out of your control, man, and that shit would hurt like hell
Bottom
to
line
lay
is this,
everything
man.
on the line.
This ain't Little League. There ain't no rule. We all got to line up and we all got to clap hands. That's not the rule. If you don't like Wemby because he did that, that's fine. He ain't got to like you neither. Y'all got to get on that court and play. And Knicks went out there and outplayed them. I know you guys aren't huge MMA fans, but there was a card at the White House, Freedom 250. And as part of that card, Josh Hockett, heavyweight contender, at the end of the fight, during his post-fight interview, screams Michelle Obama's a man.
She got 2 daughters, don't it? How could she be a man? This goofball shit, man. Oh, that's just goofball stuff, playing to the crowd, and I would assume where he lies politically with that comment, but it's just foolishness and goofy. Nobody should respond to it. I don't think the Obama should respond to it. I don't think anybody should say anything because idiots are gonna be idiots. And the man's an idiot. Wasn't that the dude that walked up there, couldn't even stand up, the drunk fella in the time? Come on, man. I'm gonna talk to him about real life? Goofball shit. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's almost, it's not even really worth responding to, right? Even this particular take right here, because this is a pretty uneducated person making just dumbfounded comments just to please and stir up a base in the moment for where they were. To have, you have UFC as a whole. I don't know if they come in and condemn those comments, but I think that should have been addressed off top. Because if this is about the country, it's about what everything the country stands for, celebration of 250 years of this country, then you will come out and protect our presidents, former, current, and their wives, former, current. But I don't expect that to happen simply because not too long ago, the current president was discussing the Iran and America deal. And he called President Obama. Basically, he said the Iranians thought that Obama was a son of a in their last negotiations. And so I don't expect anything good to come from the comments from the UFC fighter. I don't even know his name because I don't deal with food. Like, that's just foolishness, absurd. But it's alleged that Michelle Obama filed all these different defamation lawsuits and froze his assets from those winnings. I don't know how true that is, but that's what's been out there. So yeah, man, I don't want to put more energy into it. It's just the stupidest thing you can say on the stupidest stage at that moment.
Yeah, what Josh Hockett said at Freedom 250 is the perfect example of fragility. What a strong, beautiful, graceful woman can threaten you into that certain level of stupidity. And it's not political, right? Because we obviously know where Dana White stands. Whenever the president goes to a UFC event, the crowd erupts. The fighters of all backgrounds get almost giggly that he's octagon side. And so it's not about political stances. It's about human decency and the way that you should treat people. They're about free speech in the UFC. You know, Sean Strickland teeters on that. Kobe Covington teeters on that. And what Josh Hockett has done is take a page out of Kobe Covington's book because he's such an average, unoriginal, non-extraordinary human that he decided to drape himself in stars and stripes and the red, white, and blue and be as discriminatory and disrespectful as he could possibly be. And so in the greatest moment of his career, he chooses to have a premeditated racial trope as his closing act. And I think the thing that the Obamas won't say, that I will say, is that the level of grace that Michelle Obama has exuded for her community, for women in general, and as the former first lady on the very grounds that he was on, Josh Hockett could never understand that. And so I think just as we move forward, we'd have to realize that there was a group of people probably almost a decade ago that said, keep politics out of sport. And it seems that they've changed that as long as it's their politics. And what's beautiful about the Obamas is they've always gone high when others have gone low. And queens don't step off of their thrones to deal with court gestures, right? But she did say that strong men don't need to put down women to be powerful. That wasn't about muscle, that was about character, which Josh Hockett has none of it. And so in a week that's Juneteenth, where the Obamas are opening the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago, that's what the focus should be, not some baseless, demeaning, disrespectful, unoriginal, cornball-ass statement from an unextraordinary man that needs to build a character to be noticed.
Right.
With that, you know, this week we lost Alden Smith. I haven't been able to confirm what happened, but a week before he was talking about dealing with the loss of the game and depression and some of the things that he had gone through. Just, is there any message you'd want to deliver to young men, even older men who are struggling right now at this point with what's going on in their lives mentally and emotionally?
This is always tough. Obviously, we lose a lot of people. We've dealt with this. It seems like we deal with it every year, you know, and it seems like it's almost always around the same time. We have to not just say check in on your people. We have to seriously make it, you know, routine that we check in on our people, especially with people that you know are struggling, but also simply just to check in on people that, you know, you haven't heard from in a while. I got a call 2 a.m. the other night from former teammate Bobby McCray, and he woke me up out of my sleep. I took the call, you know, not knowing what was going on with him, but he was calling to check in on me. I'm good, you know, but I needed that. You guys know what I've been through the past couple of weeks, so I needed that, and it was so out of the blue. So check in on your people, man. You don't realize what it can do for somebody. You can kind of reset, what's inside of them if they're down. And also, don't be afraid to go to therapy. And it's so cliche.
It's not.
And I know we hear people
That's
say,
real.
well, a therapist, they just tell you what you want to hear. No, they can help you get to the root cause. And then maybe that can, wake you up a bit, whatever that might be. If it's medicine, if needed, more talks, more conversation, more spaces for you to open up. Do not be afraid to tap into those resources. And it's difficult, but it's worth trying.
So you know that old phrase, listen to your body? If you feel different, if this feels bad, your back hurt, your stomach, like go check it out. I would tell the players, and great point about checking in on people from the outside, but from the inside, man, listen to your mind too. If you're feeling different, if you thinking about things differently, if things have adjusted, me and RC talked about this a couple weeks ago. If you're thinking about things differently, go talk to somebody, to your point. Just go run it past somebody. NFL Trust, they got there's a bunch of opportunities for ex-players. And if not, find somebody that can help, go to the insurance company, but listen to your mind because it runs everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I would say, because everybody, it all has to be, especially athletes, everything is
In line.
muscular, joints, tendons, muscles. But we kind of forget about the brain, and it runs all this shit.
Yeah.
So if your mind's not right, listen to your body, but also don't disrespect if your thoughts are being different or changing about any situation, and go talk to somebody and see what they got to say about it. Because I'm no psychologist, psychiatrist, none of that. But I'm feeling different. I just started talking to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to it. If you're looking at things differently, take it upon yourself and reach out to your people. That's great advice, but personally, listen to yourself and say, you know what? Let me go talk to somebody about this.
Yeah, I think the thing that I've learned is God didn't make men's shoulders bigger so they can carry the weight of the world by themselves. I think so many times in the ways we grow up and we're taught, especially like our generation, it was tough through it. Boys don't cry. It was all this toughness stuff. And it wasn't even about being like mentally or emotionally tough. It was about not showing the world that you are vulnerable. It felt like if you showed humanity, you would be under attack. And what happens is, I've learned, is the most under attack I've ever been has been alone with my own thoughts. My own thoughts of my insecurities, my own thoughts of my inadequacies, my own thoughts of my bad decisions, my own thoughts of my mistakes. And I felt like if I shared that with Channing, this dude that he plays with and that he knows will knock a mother effer out, I wouldn't be that to him no more, right? Now I'm the dude that is scared about my children. You know what I'm saying? If I told that to Fred, now when he saw me on Sunday across the field, it wouldn't be the fierce safety that he knows, right? It would be the dude that's trying to deal with the weight of taking care of his entire family, even though he's blessed in these tremendous ways. And so the biggest thing is understanding that physically you're built differently, but emotionally and mentally, we all have battles and demons and gremlins that are relentless, and we can't battle them alone. And I think the other thing I would tell all men is everybody's problem is not your problem to solve. Mm-hmm. Just because they call you and they tell you it's an issue, you don't have to be the solution. And in our spaces, a lot of times we are. And I think that's a very difficult place to be. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, bro.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
I do want to check in with you though, first.
But I was going to tell you, Father's Day is the worst holiday ever.
It's the least celebrated.
No one cares.
I agree.
And you shouldn't necessarily care.
I don't care
Yeah.
because I've been taught not to care. It's nurture, not nature.
It's definitely Father's Day. I have low expectations, and my kids and wife, they're great about it. I have very low expectations for Father's Day. I don't expect a lot. I know what it's going to be, but I do want to check in with you because Big Randy's not here for Father's
Yeah.
Day. I don't know how that could be affecting you.
Oh no, man. I appreciate. I did. It took what he died May 20th.
Mm-hmm. It's the second
La-
Father's Day.
Last year, the second Father's Day. So it took months, but now it's in the past. But it's crazy. I didn't even think that would happen. I cried more in those next 2-3 months than I've ever cried in my life. And didn't know that was in me, but now, that's what I was saying. They say, what, appreciate every day?
Mm-hmm.
When you got somebody, celebrate me while I'm alive. I'm glad he moved in with me. I'm glad I got time to go fishing with him. I'm glad I got time to take him to the strip club. Even though he couldn't see, he could still touch. I'm glad that God put that there for us to have that time together at the end, because once he was gone, that's when it hit me.
Yeah.
So I appreciate how it all came together.
You a funny dude.
I know you was
funny
being
dude.
serious, dog.
He could see, but he couldn't touch.
He couldn't see.
He couldn't see.
couldn't
But he could
see.
see. So he was on that Ray Charles. Let me feel your
Man,
wrist.
He wasn't feeling wrist either.
Shout out Randy.
Yeah, Randy.
Big Randy.
Shout out to a life well lived.
Randy had a good time at the end.
Shout out to a life
crazy.
He could feel that fish bite, and he could set the hook still. He could touch some cake. Randy had a good little end.
You a true
Freddie T, you got
crazy,
any
bro.
Father's Day thoughts?
Yeah, nah, I just really think they probably should name it to Baby Daddy Day. Because that day is just show up when you show up. I do believe Father's Day is every day, man. Just being there, doing father things, man. Praying with your kids, telling them you love them, just guiding them. I don't necessarily need that day to tell me I'm a father, or I've done well, or you guys have to celebrate me. Because I think my kids do a pretty good enough job of celebrating me very often. I won't say every day.
Mm-hmm.
Some days I question if I'm even their daddy. The way they treat me. But I know they love me, and I know they're growing up and they're figuring it all out. But they truly love me, man. And to hear that, I can't hear it enough. It seems like it's the first time I heard it every time they say it. So that does it for me. And also be able to hear from, people that are in my life, especially of late. So I won't get into that, but yeah, it's just a day.
I know. And we're praying for you. We're praying with you. And, I hit you up, check in. I was trying to think about what being a father meant to me and like what I would want for a Father's Day gift, because I have so much. And I agree with you, Freddie T. Like, being a father is an everyday thing. The thing I want most from my children is, while I'm still young, I want them to look for me. And when I'm old, I want them to answer the phone for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say look for me, I don't want my kids to look for me like they need me to be there. I want them to look for me like they want me to be there and know I want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned something about Ava one time playing basketball, and, it made me think of like Jordan's high school games when somebody might catch a pass and he'll look at me to see, what he needs to do, or like, or Jaden's having, or Jaden's different graduations, Logan's graduations from culinary school. Like, I want them to look for me because they know it's important for me to be there. And I think I did a job in playing football that takes you away from so much. It lessened that for them, right? They had to be conditioned to know that daddy's gonna miss things because daddy has this special job. I don't want that for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm still young enough to be present for those things and get on planes and show up. So I want them to look for me while I'm young. And I want them to answer for me when I'm older, because that means I matter, right? Like you earn that. You know what I'm saying? Like when my mom or my dad call and I miss it, you know, I call them back or I check in, or if I'm busy and working, I text, hey mom, I'm working, you good? You know what I mean? Because they earn that. Because I had great parents and they showed up and they were present and I looked for them. And now in this point in their lives, when the dynamic is sort of changed and I don't need them for all those things, because of who they were to me, talking to them, being there for them is still important. And I hope I did that enough for my kids, that my kids, when they're older and I can no longer do things for them, and shoot, I may be in a place where I need them to do things for me, I pray to God they answer the phone for me, man. Like that would be the greatest gift in the world.
Yep.
Like, to be honest. And so happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Men, check in on each other. Make sure that your people are good. And it's just a blessing every day to do what we do. I don't take it for granted. It's been a fun ride for 4.5 years. And here soon, we may have some news to share with all the people that have been pivoting with us since 2022.
About Father's Day, let me just tell people quickly. Ask the daddy what he wants for Father's Day, okay? Don't just buy some drawers and socks. If he wants to lay in the bed all day, let him lay in the bed. If he wants to go fishing, let him go fishing. Don't just find something for us to do. Let us do what we want to do. It's one day out the year. I'm out of here.
Hold up, limitless, take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission, got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On the vision, I can trust. Limitless, take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up.